I know. I want to call him Luke. Luke's
Yes, the force is with me.
yeah. He's got all the power back there.
You should not have come back.
But I am so glad that you did. It's the Sports Guy and So Much More show right here on the Real 1100 every Thursday night from 7 to 8 p.m. We talk about sports and so much more. And tonight, it's going to be one of those and so much more nights. We'd like to welcome to the show actress, singer, songwriter, poet, playwright, and author, Miss Miracle Sims. Welcome to the show. Well, thank you so much for joining us here this evening. And you have a new movie that's coming out, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I do. You want me to get straight to it?
Yeah. Well, we can. I'd like to talk. First of all, we're going to talk a little bit about you. We'll build up to this because I know that this is the main thing. Because when we're going to talk about that, when I show the clip, I get to play a little bit of the clip for you for what you did. Where did you grow up? Did you grow up in the Atlanta area?
So, no, sir. Actually, in Jackson, Georgia is where I'm from. So I know most people don't know Jackson, Georgia.
What part of the state's that?
Yeah, like it's kind of central in a way. It's on the way towards Macon.
Towards Macon?
So it's not as far as Macon, but it's like right next to Griffin and Locust Grove and that area.
Yeah,
you familiar?
Yeah. Well, McDonough. I played down at McDonough a few times
right
and
there.
stuff of that nature. And yeah, when you're a musician, you play all over the place.
Oh yeah, got you.
Atlanta.
I'm with a rock star right now.
Shoot, I'm with an actress, a superstar on the screen. Hey, it's where did you get started in acting? How did you get started in acting?
So I would say from childhood, it was just something that was in me in regards to like. My mother would write plays and things like that. And so, from a young age, I was always memorizing words and things like that. I was always like the narrator and all that stuff growing up. And I guess I really didn't think of it as a career until maybe I got in, I would say like 6th grade, maybe something like that. And I started to think like, oh, could be something I could do. And but Jackson being a small town it is, hey, shout out to Bucks County. It really like the programs were only for certain age groups,
right.
For example. So when in 6th grade I was like, oh, this could be something. It was like an 8th grade privilege, right? So I had to wait till 8th grade, and then when I got in 8th grade, I did take like drama and stuff like that. And then I go to high school, so I'm thinking, okay, yeah, I'm gonna get in drama and stuff like that. Well, it was like a upperclassman privilege again. It was like one of those, you can only do it when you get in junior and senior year. So I had to find other ways to kind of get into it. So I did like different competitions, like literary. I went in and represented the school in a literary competition and did like a dramatic piece and things like that. And until I got into my senior year, and then... Why are we talking about this, man? Oh, gosh. So when I get to those years, they cancel the drama program. But just so happened, I know, it's crazy. And but just so happens, like one of the, we got a new course teacher. And so she kind of got into like adding musical theater and stuff in. So I got a chance to do a little bit in school, but then, I had to find ways outside of school to get into it. So I did like, summer programs and things like that to kind of, I guess, keep my taste buds wet or whatever for the whole art of it. But
people don't realize how important the arts are in high school. I can't believe that they dropped those. I mean, we put money in so many other places. It's ridiculous.
Right.
Now the new thing is roundabouts.
I know.
Spend millions of dollars for roundabouts. People can't do 4-way stops. Now you give them many more options to not know what to do.
Man, I was just talking to my husband about that. I won't say maybe like at least maybe a month ago. I was like, what is the purpose of these roundabouts?
And spend money instead of going to the schools for the arts programs. And stuff like that.
That's it.
I just, that really gets me because I know how important it was for me. Choir was my thing when I was in school, and I loved it. It gave me a chance to use the talents that I had.
Yeah.
Because, not everybody's a football player. Not everybody's a basketball player. Not everybody's can play the tuba.
Right.
You know what I mean? There has to be an avenue for all kids to be able to use their gifts. And
Yes.
school is supposed to be the place where you're able to kind of find out what that is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So the fact that they're canceling these programs and doing, it just, you're building a wall in the schools is what you're doing. You're so worried about building a wall about other countries. You're building a wall in schools that's causing people to not be able to find their true gifts and to move forward with it. And
That's
that to
true.
me is a shame. It is.
is.
I'm sorry.
No.
Do you remember your first role? The very first role you did?
Oh goodness.
Like a full-blown play or anything like that?
Well, actually, the thing is, this film is my first lead role in a feature film. Now, I've
yeah.
done
Well-
different, stage plays and things like that. You said my first. Oh goodness. Outside of college, what was the first one outside of college?
Well, I was just
I
trying to
don't
think,
remember.
because like my daughter did Annie, and she's and this year they're doing the Alice in Wonderland, and she's an eighth
Yeah.
grader.
Oh,
and she just, and that's the reason why I'm saying, if you can remember back when you first did the
in
role and you
school.
first got that, and you first got that applause, that beautiful sweet thunder.
Well, like I said, I was doing acting and things like that in the church and stuff like that. So I guess I was kind of used to performing in front of people. I would say maybe in school, the first thing I can kind of remember in school, other than I think I played with Rosa Parks in that drama class that I was telling you about in the 8th grade. But then I want to say once I got in high school and the lady added on, I think I want to say I was like Ethel Toffermeyer in Music Man. And I just went all out with it. And people were like all surprised about it. And I'm all like using this really, really funny voice. I can't even remember what the lines were, but just really, some funny voice like this. And really was getting into it. And they was like, oh, she's so funny,
Yeah. My daughter
Yeah.
Kira loves to be someone else. And she has such a talent for it. She really does. So I hope that she continues with it. And now, was Miracle birth name, or is this a stage name, or is it something special?
Well, a little bit of all of that. So basically, my full name is Miraculous. So Miracle, but I've always been called Miracle. No, I mean, very rarely do people call me Miraculous. So it's always weird when people do. It's like, what you trying to?
Yeah. Are you a bill collector?
Like, why you? Or when they try to say it, like, because that's the other thing too.
Yeah,
I
say
get
it right.
miraculous and everything else. But I just go by Miracle Sims when I perform. I guess technically I'm Miraculous Says now, even though that's a whole nother thing, but I haven't changed it legally,
Yeah.
but I'm married and stuff.
Right.
So, but so Miraculous is my name. Miracle is what I've always been going by, and then Miracle Sims is my stage name.
Cool.
Yeah.
Now I did kind of ask you a little bit before, but were there any sports when you were a kid that did you have the parents that were into that cared about sports, or was it just something that on the outside?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I was maybe detached from it. I know my dad would watch it, football and things like that. I don't think I really got into football personally until my senior year. I tried out to be on the color guard, and so when I was on that team, I was able to watch the games and really kind of. And I think it's different too, like when you know the people on the field.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So it was like, okay, and I know this is such and such, and this is such and such, and I was starting to
Go Johnny, go Johnny.
yeah, and I was starting to get like a hang of like, okay, I know what's going on,
Yeah.
But then I guess I didn't keep it long enough. But I have to say, and I don't know if I'm gonna. I know we're in Atlanta and all this stuff, but my husband gonna get on me if I don't represent. So we're tearing. I am a Raven by marriage.
Okay.
And that's what I'm sticking with. Go Ravens.
Well, he should be very happy because they finally got a quarterback there that can really push the envelope, and I think that's a huge thing. And the Ravens are going to be good this year. They're already doing good. So,
There you go.
No, but see, my wife, I got to represent on the other side. My wife is a Steelers fan.
Oh.
Yeah. So and of course my neighbor down the street, Calvin Wargo, he's also a big Steelers fan. So we know as long as the Steelers and the Falcons aren't facing each other, then I don't have a problem rooting for the Steelers.
Right. It was so funny, like hearing those debates, and he'll like really get into debates with Falcon fans, and like really, it's
Yeah. And what's so funny is I just said this last week on the show because I had gotten a little over passionate the week before with the Florida Georgia game because there's some things as a fan you have no control over. You just don't. You can sit there and love your team to death, but you're not calling the plays. You're not running the plays.
Right.
And you're not
Yeah.
officiating the game. So these are
Yeah.
things you cannot control. But
Exactly.
once again, fans comes from short for fanatic.
That's true.
And we can all be fanatics about this stuff. So
Yeah.
the key is to enjoy it for the entertainment value, but don't place so much importance on it that you're going to have a bad day because the official made a terrible call and your team lost.
Right.
Because
yeah.
there's nothing you can do about that. So don't let it ruin your day. Just go like, hey, you know what? It's over. And my wife says with the pros, they still get paid.
Right,
They're still getting
exactly,
paid. They get paid really good, even though they lost. They got
Mm-hmm.
paid. It's not like college where you're just like,
Right.
oh, we lost. That's the end of our life.
No.
But with the pros, they're still getting paid. Now, what? No, what? I heard that you worked for Disney in the bio. Where dreams come true? What
Yes,
is
sir.
that?
Yes, sir. So, yeah, I worked at Walt Disney World in Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
So I was there for about 5 years. Right, straight out of college, I went straight down there,
Mm-hmm.
and so I was friends with a lot of our famous people or famous characters, such as Mickey and Minnie and Donald
Mm-hmm. yeah.
and all those good
Oh, yeah.
people. Yeah, I was friends with them, and it was a cool experience. I mean, I met a lot of great people from around the world.
Is Donald
and-
really that rough? Is he really that mean?
I mean, he's not that mean. He's just, he's number one in his eyes. He's number one in his eyes. Like, who's Mickey? What? No. See?
Yeah, Donald.
Hey, Donna.
He's got it. He's little. Donald's the man.
Yeah.
Now, this role in this film, because we're about to play the clip in it. How did this role come about?
So here's my side of the story. Basically, long story short, as an actress, I'm always like looking for random gigs or looking for, opportunities. And it's been 10 plus years out of college for me, just a heads up, right? So I'm at this place right now where I'm kind of feeling like I might need to just start creating my own work at this point. But I would say maybe a couple of years ago, back when I came across this opportunity, I was still kind of looking for an opportunity to kind of just showcase my talent in regards to, my acting and things like that, right? And so I came across this post about, it said, we're looking for petite, dark skin woman. I'm sitting here like, that's rare. Okay, that's pretty rare for it.
Yeah.
So I was
We
like,
want we want the tall, long-legged ones. with the big-
yeah, or
everything.
whatever. Yeah, everything. Yeah, everything that's not me, right? So to see that we're looking for petite, dark-skinned woman, I was like, okay. But then I was like, then it said like nudity. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
But so I saw it and I was like, I don't know. But then I saw it again, like I want to say, I don't know. It wasn't like the same day or something like that. Maybe it was like a few days later or something. I saw the post again, but on a different site. And so I was like,
Maybe legit.
I was like, I was kind of thinking about it and stuff. And so then I went and talked to my husband. I'm like, hey, so what do you think if I did a role that required some nudity or what do you think about, so we kind of talking about it and stuff. And so what I decided at that time was like, I'm not going to count myself out just because I'm nothing like this character, for example. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to audition and see where it goes, So I did. I submitted my tape and that was it, and then maybe I would say like a few months later, I heard back from the director. Well, her name is Sheridan, and I heard back from her, and she was asking me, "Hey, can you do a callback?" And so I was submitting a video,
Right.
Video auditions, and so she asked me to do a couple other scenes, and so I did that and everything. And I want to say maybe some months after that, she offered me the role, and so. And then, so all the questions I didn't ask and I didn't think about before, it was like, okay, now I got to ask all the questions. Like,
Yeah.
So what is this nudity? What do you need? Like, what is this story about?
Right.
Because to me, all of that is a factor because it's like, if it was something that had substance to the
Right.
role, like I wouldn't, just
yeah.
take some type
It
of
has to
opportunity.
be. It has to be part of the story.
Right.
It has to be key to it.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, let's tell me what this is, what you're looking for, so I can, make a decision about what we can do. And so, and again, talk to my husband like, what I'm going to do is
And
I'm
let
just
me
going to
check
read
with
the
you
script.
again now. I'm gonna check with you again.
I'm like, I'm going to read the script and see how I feel about it, right?
Right.
And so read the script and I was like, I love it because it's like I could see myself the scenes. I think the scene that I think you have was probably one of the scenes that sold me on doing it.
Right.
Because for me, there was just so much involved in this character's story. And honestly, even though I know that the character isn't necessarily a reflection of who I personally am, or I probably wouldn't personally made these choices in my life, but at the same time, I could see it being a situation where it's like, this easily could have been me if things in my life was a little different.
I was
you know
going to say,
what
or
I'm saying?
anybody that gets behind the eight
Yes.
ball or has a different situation where you have this is your option to get out of it.
Right. Yeah. So and that's and because of that, I was like, a lot of women could possibly relate to this, and because people could be at this crossroad and be like, hey, okay, make this choice or that choice, and just because my life was a little different, or I was raised a little differently, or my relationship with Christ, whatever, all of those things played a factor into me not going that route, for example. But maybe the character didn't have those things.
Right.
Maybe she didn't have the
Right,
the
exactly.
family
that's
and all
it.
that
You're
stuff.
playing somebody else. This
Right,
is not
right.
you. You have because my daughter is like the salt of there. She's such a great kid. She loves to make you smile and all that kind of stuff like that. But she's awesome in characters such as Ursula from The Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
She just
Embodies it.
commands attention on
Yes.
stage, but she can be such a good bad person. No, she's
Yeah.
not that way in real life.
Exactly.
And she's getting more applause than the people that are supposed to be good.
Right, right. Yeah,
You
yeah. I get
know?
it. And I
Yeah.
love those type of characters too. And I think that was the thing as well. I mean, of course, there was a lot of factors for me to choose to go ahead and do the role. But one of the things for me is I really want to, be able to play a lot of different types of characters. So this is just one.
It's
And
just
then,
stretching you.
it-
Stretches you.
Yeah. It was like, it's a challenge in a lot of ways. And honestly, I mean, I know, the nudity was a challenge, for example, but I would say the biggest challenge about this character was her mental state.
Yeah.
Because as I was
Acting like
playing
you're
it, she
losing it.
honestly, as I was playing it, I like every time I would like feel this cloud over my head. It just would be very heavy.
Yeah.
And
Some people live that way their
And
whole
they
life.
do, yeah.
I've known them. I've seen them.
you see, yeah, and so I just, I hope that I did it justice in regards to like helping people to see like, okay, what choices could like you make, and like here's some consequences if you do decide to make this type of choice or whatever. Or I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot that this story embodies that. I hope I was able to like bring to life.
Well, let's
for
play the
people.
clip and see how it sounds. Here it is.
Okay.
This is a clip of Miracle Sims and Strip.
I did this for you. This is your fault.
There's no excuse!
This is not my fault. I'm the only one that was sacrificed for you. I was tired of seeing you suffer and suffering with you. I did this because I love you. Don't you understand? This was sacrifice. I didn't want this. I didn't sign up for this. This is sacrifice. I did this because I love you. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. This was sacrifice.
Wow. That's powerful emotion. Did you have some life thing that happened that you were able to draw on to be able, because if people can see the clip and see you visually, they can see that you are all in that emotion. And I mean, you're just the crying and everything. And how did you get yourself in that state to play that?
Man, well, honestly, I think with this piece, it's like you couldn't not, you know what I'm saying? It's like you had to really just allow yourself to go there and feel what this girl is feeling. And I mean, yes, she's making this confession right now to her father, that I guess in his eyes, she's done some unhonorable things. But at the same time, it's like, hey, at the end of the day, as she's saying, she did it to help,
Yeah.
Which
There's
I mean,
money to put food on the table. Something
yeah,
of that nature.
there's a lot of things, people have to make these decisions in real life. So I mean, it's
every day.
Yeah, so
Especially if you have a child or something. It's amazing what you'll do for your children.
Right,
I got
right.
3 of them.
right. And I think that there's just a lot about this piece. I feel like is very, very not just heavy, but like it's a really good look and eye opener at situations like this, or even just you know, like I said, her mental state and everything like that. Like, where did I draw from? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess I would say there maybe have been some dramatic moments in my life or some things that I could maybe draw on. But I honestly, I would say it was the character itself.
You just
and
created it.
yeah, it was like
Well, that's
reading,
good. I mean, that's
reading
good.
what it was and what
Some
it needed to
actors
be.
have to draw upon life experiences to pull it up. Some of them can just drop of a hat do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. It's just whatever it helps to get you into that
Right.
for the role, then it's all right, right?
And yeah. I think the thing that helps me about acting is being able to separate myself from the characters. Like, I know that okay, you're going to see me and you're going to hear my voice or whatever voice that the character has and things like that. But knowing that in my real life, I don't have this this issue or whatever, it's like I have to separate myself to stay sane and not let myself get caught up in whatever this character is feeling, you know? So I think in those moments, I just go fully and let that character or let the moment take hold. And then I can let it go afterwards.
Now, is this film coming out to the theaters? Is it going to straight to DVD, or you know, how is it going to be released?
So, great question. I want to make sure I say the right information. So I am. If anybody's watching,
No
on the
problem.
thing, I'm pulling it up.
You're pulling it up.
Yes.
Goodness, we got our computers with us always now.
Right, exactly. So the information I have from the director is that the film is in post right now.
Okay.
And that we're going to be basically doing film festivals in the spring, but there's going to be a pre-fest screening here in Atlanta and also in New York.
Okay.
Before then. Because, most of the film was filmed in New York.
Okay, so they're still doing
And,
post-production work on it. So it's
yes.
just okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
No problem whatsoever. Now we do have a song. We're going to play one of your songs next, and I'm going to ask you some things about your singing because it's got a great voice. So you know, like I said, the Renaissance woman is here on the show tonight on the Sports Guy. It's of course Miracle Sims, and here's her singing. Hopefully, sometime soon. Come on.
It's a miracle, baby. Miracle, miracle, cheers. Miracle, miracle, cheers. Miracle, miracle, cheers. Miracle, miracle, cheers.
We keep having all these problems. How we gonna solve them? Every day is the same thing. All these unsolved issues, I guess it's official. Here we go again, the same old thing. And I'm tired of the arguing and lying. So goodbye to all the hurt and crying. There's no changing you, so how can I expect something new? It's the same old thing. So sad, but so true. The time has come now for us to be through. Too bad it's been too long, and I cannot wait for you to be gone. I thought it would be hard to let you go, but time has shown and proved that to be wrong. I can't concern myself with thoughts of you, yeah. Time again I felt this way, but I hope for brighter days, and that patience will pull through, and somehow rub out for you. But there's only so much a girl can take, so I gotta do what's best for me. We keep having all these problems. How we gonna solve them? Every day is the same thing. All these unsolved issues, I guess it's official. Here we go again, the same old thing. And I'm tired of the arguing and lying. So goodbye to all the hurt and crying. There's no changing you, so how can I expect something new? It's the same old thing. Same thing, ain't seen no change. Now whatever happened to the house and the ring? Oh yeah, it must have been that fling and all those other things that you put before me. I remember when you adored me. Now all you do is ignore me, and it just gets annoying. For real, as a matter of fact, you're boring. I never thought I'd feel this way. I never thought I'd feel this way. Time for change has come to
chère.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome back, one and all, to the Sports Guy and So Much More show. That was my daughter doing the little rejoin right there. That was her doing the French accent.
Nice.
She wants me to erase it. It ain't happening. Not happening. But that was great. That was a beautiful song. And was that something that you wrote or you?
Yes, sir.
Original?
Yes, sir.
Good,
Yeah, I
yeah.
did. Yeah. It was a collaboration with a producer named Shachil down in Orlando, Florida. I don't know if you're still down there, but hey, Shachil, hey. Yeah, it was a collaboration with him, but yep, written by yours truly.
Nice, nice. So singing, was that started in church also?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It was basically a combined effort. Me and my sister would sing together a lot. We would go to maybe like the ushers associations, and then like basically each church would have kids to represent their churches and things
Right.
like that. So me and her would go and represent Rise of Star Missionary Baptist Church.
All right.
And yeah, we would sing together. And then yeah, I guess up to now, and like I'm trying to get her in the studio so she can make her a little album. So yeah, I'm calling you out, sis. But yeah,
And I was
I would
going to
love
ask
to
you,
get back in the studio.
what is that? What's next for you? What you got in the future? What's going on?
Man, so many things. So, well, currently, I mean, I have a business. I'm trying my best to get the space open over in College Park. If anybody follows me on Facebook, I've been I'll go live every now and then talking about like the struggles of entrepreneurship. So that's one thing. So it's Miracle Plays. If you guys want to look up that, miracleplays.net, because we do like mystery shows and just all kinds of different events and things like that, custom events.
Okay.
And I'm also working with this new business in town called Clues and Cocktails. And so I actually help to write and cast and direct the show that's going to be taking place in that experience. And so we're actually having a preview of the whole experience on Saturday. So yeah, I've been like hardcore with the cast and stuff like that for the past few weeks. So I've been doing that. And hopefully one of these old days I'll try to have a film or something like that I want to work on, because I mean, I got more music in my head. There's so many things.
And that's a good thing. That's a good thing to have too many things going. But where can people find you on social media so they can find out some of these things for themselves?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So anywhere, well, first I would say actressmiraclesims.com. If they Google Actress Miracle Sims, or if you want to go to Instagram or Facebook, I'm on there, Actress Miracle Sims. If you want to see things about the film in particular, check out director.omo on Instagram, because she's posting different clips and photos of the cast, things like that. So yeah, you can find more information about Strip on there. And but yeah, anything Miracle Sims is probably going to be on actressmiraclesims.com.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, I want to thank you very much for joining us this week on Sports Guy and So Much More show. Wait, we may have a call. Let's check real quick and make sure the call isn't for you. So if you will, well, then they go away.
Aww.
It was a quick dial. But thank you so much, Miracle, for coming on the show. We appreciate
sir.
you.
Thank you.
And I hope everything goes well with the play. And maybe see you out there this weekend with Clues and Cocktails, because that sounds interesting. I would like to get involved in that.
Yeah, come check it out. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us tonight. And now we got to talk a little. Did you have any shouts out? If you got any shout outs that you'd like to shout out to anybody?
Well, hey.
Sis, anybody down there? And
Yeah, well, shout out to my mama, shout out to my sister, shout out to my dad, shout out to my son, NJ. Hubby, I can't leave without shouting out to you. Shout out to hubby.
Yes.
So thank you all for the support and love, everybody.
All
Thanks
right.
for tuning in.
And that's our shout outs right there. And my shout outs go to Ed Rogers, Dawson, Kevin, David, Judy, Doug, Wes, Tony, Kenny Ray, Stephen, Tony, Nelson. Thank you all for joining us this evening on Facebook. I appreciate you. And of course, I've got to talk a little bit about what's going on this week in football to help you guys pick the winners for this week. Ha! That's a joke, right? The Steelers taking on the Browns. I'm taking the Steelers. I'm not going to go against my neighbor again. Calvin, you're right. They should take care of the Browns, even in Cleveland, up there in the flats. The Redskins taking on the Jets at home. I think the Redskins taking that one. Colts and Jaguars. Colts are going to get back on the winning side against the Jaguars. And Phil, the Bills are going to take down the Dolphins. Dolphins, you had your win. Now it goes back to the L's again. Dolphins going to lose to the Bills at home. Cowboys and Lions. This should be a tough one because it's going to be played up in Detroit, but I'm taking the Cowboys in this one. Ravens going to take care of the Texans. I better say that because I don't want Miracle's husband to come up here and get upset with me picking against the Ravens. Ain't happening this week. I'm taking the Ravens over the Texans. Saints should rebound against the Buccaneers and kick their tails after getting their tails kicked at home this past weekend. And those Falcons that did the tail kicking this weekend are going up to face another tail team. It's the Panthers up in Carolina. So hopefully we'll pull on their tail a little bit and win that one as well. 2 back-to-back wins on the road would be great. And 2-0 in the division for the Falcons would be even better. Up in Minnesota, their Broncos are coming to town. Vikings should send them back with a loss to Denver. 49ers, after having their first loss of the season this past week to Seattle, are going to host Cardinals, and Arizona will be destroyed in this one. 49ers are going to take it out on the Cardinals. And this is the toss-up game right here, maybe one of the best games of the weekends. The New England Patriots are going into Philadelphia to face on the Eagles, and I'm picking the Eagles. It's going to be crazy in this one, but I'm taking the Eagles at home just to come up with a victory. And this is really the first team that the Patriots have faced that stands a chance before the game of beating. And they have a loss on their records, but this is probably the best team they faced so far this year. I'm taking the Eagles. And out there in Oakland, the Raiders taking on the Bungles. Coming to town, Cincinnati is going to be headed home with another loss. This one goes to Chucky and the Raiders. And then the Rams on Sunday night, they're going to rebound after getting beat in Pittsburgh, taking on Chicago. Khalil Mack and the boys coming to town to L.A., and the Rams should win this one. And then the final game on Monday, Chiefs and Chargers. I'm taking the Chiefs in this one also. Now, that's what's happening on the Sports Guy and so much more show. As always, Amy, I'm on my way home. I'll be home soon. TTFN, ta-ta for now. Woohoo!
Yeah, it's me, baby. I just gotta let you know. I'll be home soon.
Hey, that guy's all right.
Who?
That sports guy. Thanks for joining us today on the Sports Guy and so much more show. See you next week. Same sky time, same sky channel.
With PatriotSoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
Mike Capel here, serial entrepreneur. In 2016, one of my employees accidentally clicked through an online vendor's contract, which recommitted my company.
Much for tuning in tonight, Sports Guy and so much more show with the lovely Miracle Sims. See you back next Thursday. Same sky time, same sky channel. Peace.